Good evening! Hey Rob! Hello! Welcome to stream number 15. I was supposed to be streaming yesterday, but in true trippy fashion, I fucked something up and I lost my entire day yesterday to technical gremlins, as it tends to happen. I spent all day editing one of the past live streams in Sony Vegas, and I don't know if this has ever happened to you, but sometimes sometimes you'll be typing something and you know there's like shortcuts and stuff for every program out there. I just had this moment where I'd finished working on my file and I don't know what my hand's done, but they kind of just hit my keyboard in a way that I didn't actually see what I pressed. So I didn't know how to fix what I'd broken, and it ended up like muting not only all the audio on the file that I just made, but I had to. I thought, oh, I've completely like deleted the audio for my entire show, and so I gave up and I was like, okay, right, I'm gonna just have to do this all again. And I closed it and I opened another file and that was gone as well. And I'm like, why do I now have no audio in all of Sony Vegas? And it turns out, in some weird coincidence, I'd like key smashed the exact hotkey combination for like muting a really specific thing across the entire program. So I like deleted my file for no reason. So I spent like 6 hours yesterday messing around for no reason. And I was very angry, but I finished it. Well, I didn't finish it. I still have to redo it again. So I fixed it, is what I mean to say. I hope I fixed it. So I'm going to attempt that tomorrow afternoon because I couldn't do it today. I was too busy battling the forces of Easter. I've also had quite a lot of chocolate today as well, so I'm kind of wired. Whenever I see frogs online, I always think of that one video of the guy who built a little house on his fence for a frog, and it ended up like bringing its whole family, and he ended up turning it into like a condo with like a pool and a bunch of I think it was like lemurs came to live with him or something. Yeah, the focus is very difficult, to be honest. I mean, it is kind of hard to concentrate, but I mean, at the same time, I feel like because I'm not overthinking about what I'm doing, instead of trying to be a perfectionist about it and spending like a day erasing something and then redoing it and getting pissed off at it, having like the pressure of streaming sort of makes it easier for me to focus recently. It's weird. And something else as well, I've actually found that today I feel like I've sort of like evolved very slightly with my streaming, because today I didn't start getting ready like 4 hours beforehand. I left it until like half an hour before I went live, and I've made a list of things I need to do one after the other before I start streaming, and I actually didn't panic today, and I'm not a giant like stressed out mess right now, so that's good. Yeah, I think when it's like anything, when you start doing it, it's really kind of daunting, and then you get into it and it's more about showing up and getting stuff done. Like the general excitement of all the equipment and designing like graphics and all that kind of like fades a little bit, and you're like, okay, now's the hard work. Now I've actually got to do what I'm supposed to be doing on the stream. I feel like I have to talk more. There's been there's a few occasions where I've just felt really like socially drained, and it's kind of difficult because you might not be having a great day, or you just sometimes run out of stuff to say. And you think, oh no, it's like dead air, you don't want that. But there's been times when I've given myself a hard time for it, and then I've gone back to watch the stream and I'm like, actually, you know what, it's only me who's like noticing it, really. It doesn't really matter if I go quiet for like 5 or 10 minutes. I'm trying to draw at the same time, you know. I mean, I've watched people's art streams where they only speak for like 2 minutes at the start and then they say goodbye at the end. So I mean, I don't think I'm doing that badly. I hope. No, the thing is though, right? Her messages were showing up on the YouTube chat, but they weren't showing up on the actual screen. And then I thought, is her username being flagged, like, by something? But then it wouldn't be, because it wouldn't show up on YouTube if it was being flagged. So I've been trying to figure it out for a week, because I feel really bad, because I want her to be in the chat. Yeah, you understand why it might be getting flagged, right? You see, if you know what I mean. But it's not. And I've not got any words muted or anything. I mean, I've got like the chat set to just like basic, the basic bot, who's super basic for swearing and stuff, but it doesn't blank out swears. Someone swear in chat. Say a bunch of swear words. You have my permission. Oh. In practice, that's terrible. My opinion of you has changed so much. Yeah, I can't figure it out. And actually, yeah. Crap, damn it. Yeah. Darn. Oh, heck. No, but the thing is, right, you're all saying, like, DP in the chat. So then it can't be that either, because you wouldn't be able to type it in the chat either, and it still shows up here. I have no idea what's going on with her. It's so strange. It's like, why did it specifically have to be DP as well? Like, why is it not happening to other people? Yeah, see. Doesn't make sense. And I've not added anything, and I've not, like, removed anything, but I'm gonna keep the chat off of the top chat, or whatever the hell it's called, for next one. I felt kind of bad as well, actually, because in the last stream, the Riala art stream, literally just as I was changing from the art to back to chat and ending the stream, a new person turned up called Bill, and they were like, hey, and then I was like, bye. I just like ended the stream, and I didn't see them until the last minute, and I was like, oh shit, I probably seemed like really really horrible. I feel well guilty. I kind of wish that YouTube was a bit more user-friendly for streaming, to be honest, because there isn't a way to put your chat straight into your stream. You have to do all these like side missions to be able to even show it. I had to sign up to a service called Stream Elements, which creates like overlays and stuff, and that's how I do all my layout, where I've got the chat, I've got my PNGTuber thing, I've got on the main YouTube one, I've got all the little like usernames that pop up, and like if you buy something from the store or whatever, you get little animations and shit. Like, I had to sign up for that service, so that runs at the same time as my YouTube stream. And then in order to show the text box with the chat, I have to go to some random website, and they give you this like code that so you can change how all of your text and stuff shows up. So the fonts are the right size, the chat colors and stuff are all good. And yeah, I'm having to use that. And I was thinking that might be what's messing up DP being able to appear, but it doesn't make sense because there's nothing that I can change on it that would cause a single person to be removed from it. Just reminded me when you know how sometimes you're at conventions and you'll be in the bathroom and you'll have a random encounter with a stranger who will just impart some knowledge upon you, like out of nowhere, like some sort of like NPC in a computer game, and you remember it for years because it's just so random and out of place. I was fixing my makeup at the mirror and this girl came up to me and she said, "Oh, are you enjoying the convention?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm at one of the the Artist Alley stalls. I'm selling stuff, and I've just been drinking lots of Red Bull and coffee all morning. And she goes, "Did you know that coffee can actually cause you to sleep more? And sometimes it has the reverse effect." And I'm like, "What? Really?" And I don't know how legit that is, but it stuck with me for years. And whenever I'm really tired after drinking coffee, I always think of the bathrooms at MCM Comic Con and that random person who just spoke to me about coffee. She was probably like anti-coffee. She was probably like some like agent for Big Water or something. Salesperson. Drink more water. I've been trying to actually stay, I know it sounds cliche, but I've been trying to stay hydrated recently. I've actually been making an effort to constantly have a bottle of water on my desk, like an aluminium bottle, and as soon as it's finished I refill it, so I always have water there. But I can't say it's like doing anything fantastic. I think it's a bit overrated, to be honest. People say if you drink lots of water it helps your skin. Not me. It's not really made my skin any better at all. Or they say, oh, you know, it has to, the impurities from your skin have to be flushed away with the water. The more you drink it, and then your skin will get clear. But I don't know, it's, water kind of makes me feel sick, to be honest, but I keep drinking it anyway. The tap water in London is not very nice, to be honest. It's a very hard water area, so there's like limescale and stuff. Like the tap water, like the drinking water in Edinburgh is really nice. It tastes like the stuff that you get in bottles. I mean, everyone else usually just buys bottled water, but I'm the only idiot who drinks tap water out of the kitchen because I don't want to spend that much on bottled water constantly. Yeah, I have this problem with my tablet. Ever since I repaired it, I used to be able to like do writing and stuff on it from when it's all zoomed out. Like, so when the screen's like this, I used to be able to draw and write really quickly, like text. But then when I zoom in on it, all the lines would be really wobbly. So, like, if you see this here, the end of it has got a sort of little wibble. Like, the line isn't very smooth anymore, and I think it's because, like, when I was repairing it and soldering it and stuff, the connection's not perfect anymore. So if I'm doing lines, I have to sort of like zoom in a bit to see that they've not gone all weird. The lines go shaky. Wasn't bad though. I mean, I've never like done any proper electronics repair before. I used to, when I was a teenager, like really young teenager, I used to draw on paper, like comics with actual paint and inks and pens and stuff. In a way, it was easier sometimes because you spend less time fussing over redoing stuff, because you'll have a sort of a limited amount of times you can redo something on paper before you ruin it. And you could only draw so small. I mean, when I first started drawing Engelbaum, it was actually like the pilot issue was done with actual inks. Hey Cherry! Blue Cherry! The pilot issue was done with inks, so it was like a dip pen with ink, and I used to draw on A4 printer paper. And I would, two of the pages, it was like a double page spread, and it had all of the gens, and the Engelbaum had all like fallen down and stuff. I had to use a magnifying glass to do that traditionally, and I put so many characters, like actual characters, not just like little head shapes and stuff. It was actual characters that exist within the Engelbaum world, and I put in so much detail on that, and that was with a magnifying glass. But the hardest part of doing comics traditionally is the lettering, because it's a whole process that I didn't really understand, and I didn't ever really have to do it, to be honest, because I would just scan in my inks and then I would colour them on the computer. Well, when I was a teenager, I used to actually paint on paper as well, so I would have to go to a print shop in the city centre. They would scan in my actual like painted artwork, and they would shrink it down to comic page size. I have no idea how like the actual printing press people do it and stuff, but yeah, it's actually a good place to start is doing traditional comics, little like zines and stuff where you can just fold them up and staple them together, because then you get an understanding of like how page flow works. So every time you turn a page, what you see and how it connects and how it changes the impact of the story and stuff. And there's something really exciting about putting together a little paper comic as well. I actually done that with Engelbaum on paper, like with pencils, before I even properly drew it. I think I scanned it once, but it was just like a little stickman and stuff, because I wanted to figure out what was kind of vaguely going to be on each page. And then you get to mess around making like the overall design of your comic as well, not just what's actually like happening in the story, but the actual layout of the comic. If you're going to have like an interior page on the left hand side, if you're going to have chapter pages, if you're going to have like a back page advertising thing or whatever. I used to have a reader's like letter section in the back of Engelbaum. That was cool. Kind of want to do that again with the printed version when it happens, because like I love stuff like that. It makes me think of when I used to read Sonic the Comic when I was younger. Tell you what though, there's nothing more satisfying of when you finish any version of a comic and then you get a printed version back. It's just one of the greatest feelings, because it's one thing seeing your art on a screen or in front of you on a piece of paper, but when it's all put together and it's all printed and you can actually like turn it and you can feel the paper and stuff, it's just such a good feeling. When all else fails, flip it. You're supposed to flip your art all the time, but the only time I do it is when I'm struggling with something and I can't figure out like how to draw a face or whatever. Oh my god, Gala, your eye, it's driving me insane. Okay, I'm just gonna stop fussing with that now. Her eye, oh no, it looks really bad, I have to, okay, there. Actually, yeah, fuck it, let's just leave it so it's one, so she looks kind of like sinister. I can't draw her eye, I give up on it. I refuse. The first comics I painted were actually done with watercolors, and it was this little watercolor palette thing that had like maybe 12 different watercolor pans on it that are like tiny little chips of paint. And at the time when I was a kid, that was like the only paints that I had, and it was like professional quality because I got it for a Christmas present of someone, and I tried to use those paints like flat paints so they would be like really strong colors. So I used to just put one layer of watercolor down and keep adding it and adding it and adding it with like less and less water, and eventually I started using acrylic paints, which are cool, but they're very they get really streaky and they can go lumpy, and they dry out pretty quick as well if you're not fast enough when you're putting them down. And they're not super beginner friendly, but then eventually I discovered gouache paints, which are like those really awesome paints you would get at school in the white trays, where they're just like big wads of colour, and they go on super flat, so the colour is very what's the word, opaque? It's not see-through, it's like very flat and strong, and I love that for painting. And last month I discovered a new type of paint, which, well, watercolors and gouache are watertight, so if you spill water on them, they'll go everywhere, they'll smudge. But acrylic paint's dry like plastic and they go really hard. But now you can get a mixture paint which is a cross between acrylic and gouache paint, and that's what I've been using on the Sonic painting that I've been doing. And it's such a weird feeling, because I mean, you get used to certain media feeling a certain way when you paint with it for so many years, and it just completely changes. It's really bizarre. Well, I didn't finish Gal, but I got quite a bit done on her. She looks better than she did when I started, so I'm trying to figure out if her shading is too dark or not, because it's like I want her to be looking spooky, but at the same time I don't want her to print like one giant blue, dark blue navy blob, so I might have to lighten that up a little bit. I'm not sure. Right, I said I was only going to be streaming till 11 today, so that is what I'm going to stick to, despite the fact I actually do want to continue this right now. I have to go, unfortunately. So, I'm going to be streaming again tomorrow night. Same thing, or I can maybe do inking on the next page, page 14, so you've got something different to look at, because I've been working on this for a really long time now. I will see you all tomorrow. Thanks for coming along. I appreciate it. And also thank you for trying to help me with the chat problem that I'm having as well, with the DP being invisible problem. Thank you. We will fix this. We will save her from the chat purgatory, I promise.